The Venda, also called Havenda, are an amalgamation of Bantu-speaking Southern African people living mostly near the South African-Zimbabwean border. They are perhaps the only black nation south of the Vemba River, Limpopo River, whose country was not named after the people. The name Venda means land or country, with the inhabitants yet referred to as Havenda or the Venda, meaning the people of Venda. The Venda people speak Shivenda or Luvenda, which is a Bantu language. They traditionally believe in a supreme or high god called Raluhimba. In fact, the Venda people believe that all the natural phenomena which affect the people as a whole are revelations of the great God. Traditional leadership among the Venda people is hereditary, passing normally from the father to the oldest son of the senior wife. In the traditional community of the Venda people, bargaining, usually through a third person, about the bride price and marriage arrangements among the Venda can take a long time. Once agreement is reached, and after the wedding ceremony, which is usually about traditional dances and delicious Venda culture food. The traditional clothing of the Venda people was made out of animal skins. They got the skins by hunting. In the community, it is believed that ancestors lived with the living, and the clothes are sacred because they represent their ancestors. A male will continue to wear variations of these throughout his life. The girls wear shindo, a small square of fabric sewn onto a broad strip which hangs down in front as small as an apron. When a girl develops breasts, she wears an inwenda at the waist or just above the breast. Meanings are attached to the embroidery done on the inwenda. Wood carving, traditional pottery, baskets and beadwork are the main Venda handicrafts. Mat weaving using traditional motifs is also commercially practiced. The men of the Venda tribe continues the centuries-old tradition of Msangwe, a Venda combat that is said to have started in the late 1800s. The fighters fight for personal pride and the bragging rights for their villages. A fighter enters the ring and holds his arm out with a clenched fist. He circles the gathered men, waiting for someone to take him on. Soon, another man holds out his fist and the fight is on. The traditional cuisine in the Venda community mainly depends on grains and vegetables. Maize is a staple food to date. It is ground, then prepared into porridge that can be eaten plain or as pancakes or as an accompaniment to stews and meat. The main traditional Venda food is chizimba, which is a mixture of beans, groundnuts and maize. In this community, it is a taboo to consume pork or other pig products. A Dumba dance, also known as Python dance, is the most famous dance of the people. It is held annually at Lake Funduz, a sacred site to get good rains in the planting season. The dance involves long fluid movements. Usually, small aprons that cover the front and back are worn during the dance. Another popular Venda dance is the Sikona dance. It is a male dance that is performed in religious ceremonies, Venda cultural funerals, and weddings. Each dancer has a special bamboo pipe that they use to create a melody with other dancers.